One of the nice things that we've enjoyed here in Texas is quite a revolution of craft beer. The main feature that has basically kept us in business since 1986 is that we got known for having import beers. And as soon as folks figured that out, and since again we are right along the interstate, people literally whip in to get their import beers. And we've evolved with the Texas industry basically. Real ale was on the scene a dozen or so years ago, and we stocked all the real ale stuff. St. Arnold's, all the local breweries started coming on the scene, and we stocked them, and people came here for that. And there's a continued flood of local breweries in particular. And the idea of having our own beer as a brew pub is just concomitant with the idea of presenting good beer in general. I think it's the perfect homage to the beer gods, basically, to be able to present our own beers along with all the wonderful offerings that are from throughout the state. A 7-barrel system. We'll sit back there making our own beer, which hopefully the federal government is about to give us the permission for doing just that. We've already gotten from the state the proper licenses. It's just the federal government is going to comply as well shortly. If you're familiar with Indian cooking, it tends to be spicy. And since the subcontinent there were for hundreds of years under the English rule, English ales go really well with Indian food. In fact, even English ales evolved over time to marry themselves towards how Indian food is spicy. So we're not only concentrating on English styles, but also Belgian styles that also go very well with Indian food. Both of the styles are fairly well represented in the Texas industry right now, but we're going to add ingredients that literally marry themselves towards what our offerings are on our menu. For instance, our first ale will be a post-colonial IPA, high in gravity, about roughly 9.5%, and something that you enjoy in an 8-ounce pour. In that beer, in and of itself, we're using old school types of hops and grains that are more emblematic of the English style, the original English style, less of the American style. And then on top of that, we're adding small amounts of like lemongrass and orange peel, grapefruit peel, and just a touch of honey that give it the added nuance of being like a tea and a juice that would go really well in cooling the flavors of what you would have with the spicy food. That in and of itself, our first beer, is very emblematic of what we're going to be presenting all throughout the year. Over a dozen different kinds of ales. Ales mostly. We're not completely prepared to present any lagers or pilsners because of the brewing process is so different.